Good afternoon and welcome to the campus of St Sebastians School. Di-Fi Video Productions is proud to present St Sebastians Lacrosse. Today, the Arrows host the Lions of St. Mark's. I'm John Galvin along with the voice of the Arrows, Jack Knight. Jack, got a nice day here. A little bit windy, but not too bad. Let's play some ISL lacrosse.
A great day indeed, and just like this win, the Arrows come into this game riding high, a 3-game win streak, taking down Taft, Govs, and then St. George's this last Saturday in an 18-0 downpour,
Yeah,
both in weather and in score.
that was an awful weather day, and I'm sure St. George's was real happy to get out of here pretty quickly.
They take on a St. Mark's Lions team. Got some good reps against a very tough Thayer team. Unfortunate loss, but St. Mark's fired up for a big game here today. Key matchup today for both teams. It's going to be Ryan Farley, the Lafayette commit defenseman of the Arrows. He'll be, for the most part, matched up against Luke Harwick, the physical attackman for the Lions. Will be something to watch indeed, and as we see so many of these New England teams just fully loaded with stars and none really other like St. Sebastian's. 17 college commits, whether it be juniors or seniors, and with this freshman and sophomore class already making marks, we can tell more coming.
Yeah, I mean, one of the big things you see with the Arrows is their depth. I mean, they just have so much depth at midfield, depth at attack, depth at defense especially. I mean, you look at the LSMs you have there between Burke and Weston, and you don't even have Kelly here, and it's just amazing how much talent this team has.
Both teams shaking hands. Chandler McClements, the senior Penn commit for the Arrows. And then for the Lions, it's going to be the sophomore Carson Brown. David Hom, the junior, he'll be taking his talents to Boston University in 2 years. And he is up at it against Finn Frederick, one of the real blue chip players on this St. Mark's team. The Arrows, the Lions. First week ISL lacrosse underway as Farley speeds through the midfield and takes it right side, dumps it off to Armstrong, and Paul Armstrong charges in a high shot maintained by the Arrows.
Interesting to see right off the bat, the Arrows double pulling the face-off there. Shows a little respect that they have for the St. Mark's face-off guy.
We'll get some substitutions. The Arrows working around with Frizzoli, Teddy Frizzoli, the junior Duke commit. Looks off to Stenberg, and now Quillard comes in. Sends it back up top for Crosby Thurman, and Thurman wrapped around by Will O'Brien, the St. Mark's captain. Flip pass just too high there.
Yeah, crease violation on the follow through that shot. It'll be Lions ball.
Had Armstrong there on the doorstep, but a really nice job by Brown to get a stick up and force a high shot. Arrows here going with the 10-man ride. We've seen that a lot from them this season. Desperately trying to get away with it is Will Parks. Parks, he is shoved down. Flag is flown.
Yeah, I was waiting for a call there. Could have got away with a loose ball push, but they're calling possession on the foul. 30-second technical foul here.
So the Lions trying to make the most out of this brief man advantage as Pereira comes on for the man down unit. Tyler Smith, the sophomore, he'll get it going to the top. Sends it to the near side with Santini, their captain. St. Mark's playing this year a bit of a younger team, but 5 captains, so really banking on their younger guys stepping up as leaders this year. As Smith sends it back over to Harwich. Tussle for it still here right in front of the net. Comes out to Grizzlicks, who waves at it. And controlled once again by the fleet-footed Sam Weston. Weston, the sophomore, and he's been doing this at a high level in the ISL since his 8th grade season. Makes a play there and sets up possession for the Arrows. Armstrong takes it near side. Sends it down low to Frizzoli. Stenberg on now. John Stenberg, the Dartmouth commit, sends it to Thurman. Thurman able to find Curry. Stenberg sends it lateral back to Thurman, and the Arrows working it around with under 40 seconds on the shot clock. Batted ball, finds the stick, and he scores. Paul Armstrong leads the day off. The Holy Cross commit with the quick catch and shoot goal and a little pushing and shoving after the play, but the Arrows able to capitalize.
Yeah, good feed to the crease right there. Armstrong was able to bury it. Took a little bit of a late hit that he objected to, but you know, no laundry on the field, so we're good to go here. 1-0 Arrows. We are going to have a call here.
So Stenberg is going to be serving for 1 minute for the unsportsmanlike.
Yeah, Stenberg came in a little bit late there, kind of sticking up there for his player, and a little extra pushing and shoving. So we'll have no face-off because it was a dead ball foul, and Lions will start with a 1 minute man up.
So St. Mark's here already with an opportunity to tie this game up again, but the Arrows, they have not allowed a goal yet this season on man down in ISL play.
Yeah, their defense is so locked in. You know, when you get here, the discipline on this defense is amazing. It just really is. You look at Burke up top, just really working it, and a steal. Look at that, steal by the Arrows.
Yeah, Farley able to intercept the pass of Luke Harwich. As Chandler McClemens, a little razzle-dazzle there behind the back. Able to control is Abdella. Sends it down to Frizzoli, and he's got some green grass in front of him, works it around X.
Still 10 seconds on the man down for the Arrows. So they'll kill this clock before they get rocking.
Rizzoli, he is so dangerous there at that X position. He works far side and gives it off to Crosby Thurman. Thurman now waits with it as Arrow substitutions come in. Armstrong with it. Sends it up to Thurman. Thurman with a pump. Thurman fires. Oh, right off the post. Oh, you could hear the ring from all the way across the field.
Push. Loose ball push on the Lions. It'll be Arrows with a fresh 60.
Crosby Thurman with an incredible shot, and when he gets a full head of steam, it is tough to stop, to say the least. Rizzoli works, able to find Quillard. Trouble there with the ball. Some more pushing and shoving here as we've seen some chippiness in full force today. O'Brien working across midfield. And he falls down.
Yeah, good job there working through it. You know, it's tough when you're in traffic with the pole, but he did a nice job maintaining possession and getting off to one of his guys.
Nolan Hackett dumps it back off to Will Parks. Far side here is Harwich. Lions working the ball around with just under 7 minutes to go in the first quarter of play. Arrows lead 1-0 off the goal from Paul Armstrong. Harwich fights through. He's such a physical driver. Finds some green grass, and the bouncer is in. And Luke Harwich, the Lions captain, the junior, finds the back of the net to equalize this game at 1.
Yeah, you said it, real physical play, just really pulled his way down there. A little bit of a roll to clear the defender and bounced it top side over Chandler's shoulder. 1-1.
They did a nice job working the ball around there, fully that possession, waited and set other guys up for the right shot. And then obviously Luke Harwich able to make a nice move. 1-1 here.
Violation there on the Lions.
So David Hom will get us going again.
Legal procedure. Okay, call being made. I thought the call was already made, but the ref on the side. Oh, what do we got here?
Busy day today here at 1191. As you might hear in the background, varsity baseball also taking on St. Mark's. All Seb sports teams in action. Just a beautiful day for some spring sports.
Really is. You know, I was a little nervous with the wind, but forecast says it's going to die down as the game goes on, so you shouldn't hear too much whistling of the wind in our microphones. You might hear a little bit, but hopefully it comes off. Wow.
A snipe and a score as Ty Curry now in the ISL league lead for goals with 15. As he takes the lead here in this game, 2-1,
Yeah,
St. Seb's.
Such a great pass there, kind of across the defense. Curry just kind of caught it and shot it, and there was just no chance there. 2-1 arrows.
He's so skilled there on the forehand that sometimes he lulls you to sleep a little bit with the underhand shot.
Great catch and shoot there by Curry.
And it blows you by. We saw a couple of little passes leading up, and Curry rips one really point blank.
Hom wins the clamp, but Lions get the face off.
Turnover right back to Abdallah of the Arrows.
Nice job there.
And Ethan Abdallah really coming onto the scene here in his sophomore season. Made an impact, made a start in all 4 of the Arrows games so far this season. This is his 5th start today. Hom able to control for the Arrows. He will come off. Armstrong there off the screen from Haggerty.
Yeah, second midfield on for the Arrows. We were talking about there earlier, the depth that they have. They'll go to this second midfield a lot and
Beautiful.
get great results.
Beautiful. Just picture perfect from Teddy Frizzoli. The catch, the jump, the shot, and the score.
Great no-look there, pass into Fazoli, who just caught it and put it in over the top of the goalie. 3-1 Arrows.
And, you know, this team, the Arrows, ranked number 8 in the country. They've really been firing on all cylinders ever since they got back from that New Jersey trip to Lawrenceville. As David Hom wins another faceoff. Get this, 62% of the time winning those faceoffs, and they had to go play Lawrenceville.
Yeah, Reese Emerson out today, the second faceoff guy, so we're going to see a lot of Hom today. Emerson homesick.
As Reese is probably watching at home, we say,
Hey Reese.
I get well soon to the Trinity College senior commit. He's also posting a 57% win rate, so a very lethal combo that we are sure to see next Saturday home against Thayer.
Yeah, I mean, the two of them there, I mean, they're both so strong. You rarely ever see two strong face-off guys on one team, and the fact that they can roll each other out and alternate, it just really wears down the opponents. By the second half, you're pretty much winning every one. And that's so huge. You make it, take it. It's huge.
Arrows working around once again. Here is Quincy Quillard who dumps it off. Back to Thurman. He sends it over to Stenberg. Stenberg working through O'Brien, a shot, and goes wide left, but the Arrows able to maintain possession. Quillard with the ball now, sends it up top to Thurman. Thurman back to Stenberg. Arrows very passes quick in succession. As the BTB goes for the GOAL. And Curry's got his second of the game.
Yeah, good cut there by Curry. Right in front. Behind the back was really the only option there. He was really at a tough angle, and he puts it over the shoulder. Great pass and catch and shoot.
The Notre Dame commit extends the lead to 4-1 now. Another big face-off here. Hom looking for his third straight violation called. As advantage Finn Frederick on that one. Under 4 to go now. A flip pass to Smith. Works around an X to Santini. Back up top to Grizzlies. Harwich now with it in this key matchup today. Harwich and Farley seeing it right here. Both men getting low. Chandler able to swat that one away and then corrals.
Yeah, nice job by McClement staying low, hit him in the chest, took the bounce shot in the chest, and then corralled it. A quick outlet.
Yeah, made a beautiful lead pass there to Farley. Sets up the Arrows offense pretty quickly as Armstrong dumb pass there trying to find Porter. Danny Porter wearing the 5s today, 55 for the Arrows. One of the blue chip hockey players came on as a really gritty second liner, was leading the team in goals at one point in the season, and now he gets his start with the Lac squad.
Yeah, we're going to have a flag down here on the clear. We're going to have a slash on the Arrows. Lions will pay this one out, knowing whatever happens, they'll get the ball back with a 1-minute man-up penalty.
Hackett dishes off to Grizzlies, and Blake Grizzlies fights through Pereira. Sends it off and turning around, but a loose ball. Maintained by the Arrows. Great stick work there from Burke, but like you said, a flag down.
Yeah, I think we're going to have our second penalty on the Arrows on a push right there.
You know, credit to this St. Mark's midfield and attack. They've had to endure a lot of pushing and shoving from this Arrows defensive unit, and they really haven't lost possession of the ball. So 1 minute on McGuire and 30 seconds on Armstrong. So the Arrows will try to close the quarter, 2 men down for the first 30 seconds. Smith sends it right side. Back to X here with Parks. Up to Smith and Harwich now. Far side. Smith fire, save by McClements. Chandler comes up huge for the man down unit.
Yeah, he got a good look at that. Shot was low. He got the stick down, made the save, and kept the rebound real close.
So the Arrows probably looking at time waste here as a turnover falls right in the stick of Finn Howard.
Yeah, real tough to clear when you're 2 men down. You only got one guy that can go over.
Under 15 seconds left, Smith rips and scores. Tyler Smith with an absolute bullet from range.
Yeah, good job off the turnover. Really, getting back to the goal. Kind of that unsettled defense on the Arrows, and they took advantage of it.
Yeah, he got some space there, able to really step into it, cranks the shot, and it finds the back of the net.
All right, the Arrows have
Hom and Frederick squaring off once again, all evened up here.
not Hom, though, is it? Who's?
Weston, actually.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Interesting. I'm wondering if they thought they were still man down, which is why Weston took the face-off. But
Arrows with under 25 seconds to go. Frizzoli working. He has to work fast. Long pass there, trying for Thurmond. 15 seconds left, and Crosby's got to hustle. Fires one, it bounces in. Crosby, Thurmond, the Holy Cross commit, bounce it and in.
yeah, Thurman, who's been on this field for a while, put a little spin on that shot. So you saw when it bounced in front of the goalie, it angled off the turf. It wasn't a true bounce like you would get on grass. That's a home field advantage right there, knowing that this turf will spin a ball if you will spin if you do it correctly.
We talked about that already. His powerful shot, and he puts it on full display here. Basically shoots it from the 30-yard line on the football field, and between the velocity on it and the spin, finds its way in for a goal. So the Arrows most likely will take a 3-goal lead heading into the second.
Yeah, Hom back out here on the face-off there. Got pushed, but they didn't call it.
Wins it at the end, and that will do it. Our first quarter of action, Arrows 5, St. Mark's 2. Some back and forth lacrosse to get your Wednesday going.
Yeah, Lions played a good quarter there. They really did. I mean, you got to give them a lot of credit for coming here. This highly touted Arrows team, and they're taking it and giving it back. We're really seeing some good play by the Lions as well.
Chance for Coach White of the Arrows and Coach Ferraro of the Lions to chat things over. As we look, and I'm probably getting a little antsy myself for this ISL playoffs. One of the things that really ended up defining wins and losses was who came out of breaks stronger, who started and closed halves and quarters stronger. This is a good chance here for both teams. Momentum kind of resets at the start of every quarter.
Looks like we get a stick violation here. And it's going to the scoreboard operator, which means this is going to be a 3-minute locked-in penalty on whoever it's called on. Looks like it's going to be on the Arrows.
So we'll see who that's on, and it looks like on Hom.
That's not good because that's your face-off man, and that's his number one face-off stick, which will now be out of the game.
Well, it looks like we're glad Weston got some reps there in the first quarter.
Well, I'm sure David has a backup stick. It's just, not his preferred stick.
Not the one he's been gelling with all season, really.
Right. But again, this is a locked-in penalty, so no matter if the Lions score, we're man down for 3 minutes.
Armstrong with the penalty, so it looks like it's on
Okay.
Paul Armstrong, the Arrows attackman.
Yeah, generally at the end of the quarter, they're going to grab, usually it's an attackman stick to check it out, and Armstrong with the no-no.
So that stick, as you said previously, taken out of the game. As Harwich sends it to Smith. Over in the corner is Parks to Santini, back to Smith. Smith fakes, Harwitz. He sends it down low to Brunetti. Brunetti at goal line extended. Lions here, this is a perfect chance to capitalize, but working it around, really wanting to find the best shot. Harwich Arrows doing a great job here in the zone, really not allowing any holes to open up.
Yeah, they're really rotating well.
Will
Good
Parks
defense.
there looking for the BTB, but it was taken away. Curry runs midfield, and he speeds away from some St. Mark's midfielders.
Yeah, nice clearing play there, bringing the attackman down over the center line. He was wide open for the pass, and he just sprinted it upfield.
Stenberg working around the entire offensive zone.
Yeah, still another minute 15 on this penalty.
The Dartmouth commit displaying his next level conditioning. Tightly covered here by Howard. And Finn Howard, the sophomore for St. Mark's, one of their starter defensemen. You know, he's going to be counted on as they progress in the season to take on teams. He's going to be counted on as one of the guys to be a lockdown defender. Burke, again the razzle-dazzle. As we've seen some superb stick work here from the junior Harvard commit.
30 seconds left on the man down for the Arrows, but looks like at this point they're content to keep the ball in the offensive zone, get some time out. Still 50 seconds on the shot clock. Bert's going to come to the sidelines.
Looks like Arrows trying to set up a play. With 5 seconds left on the stick violation. Even up now as Frizzoli gets working from X. He curls around the net middle and sends it up for Crosby Thurman. Thurman now works right, trying to bowl over. Frizzoli works, bounce pass denied, and again, that's the stick of Howard, works in.
Yeah, Frizzoli did a nice job scooping up the ground ball, flipped it over the top of his shoulder for a nice goal there for Frizzoli, and a 6-2 lead for the Arrows.
Gets it taken away, works it right back to himself, and in.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good play by the Arrows on the first attempt. Got a stick on stick, so it kind of like dropped at his feet. Scramble in front.
Arrows lead 6-2 now. So this has been a matchup to watch all day. David Hom and Finn Frederick. Frederick works him over there.
Yeah, good face off there, flipping it over the top of Hom and gathering it on the other side.
A lot of scouts, you know, they really praise his clamp move, just how physical he's able to be there at midfield. Park sends it to Harwich, and Harwich warded away by Farley.
Yeah, it's clear, like we said pregame, that Farley's going to be drawing Harwich all game long, and it's going to be a battle. It's going to be fun to watch.
Harwich, one early goal today, but other than that, it's been pretty even Steven between the two. Luke Harwich off the screen and a nice save from Clements. Gets a lead pass to McKeague as Teddy McKeague blazing through the middle. Dumps it off to Curry. Finds Frizzoli. Oh, what a save there. Point blank, and Carson Brown is right on it. And St. Mark's here on the move as we get some lightning fast lacrosse.
Yeah, great fast break there by the Arrows. What do we got? Timeout.
St. Mark's.
St. Mark's. Yeah, as I was saying, great fast break there by the Arrows is as when Frizzoli cut to the net, Curry saw him and kind of like split the defenseman. Frizzoli with a quick catch and shoot, but a great high stick save there.
St. Mark's looking to score their third here. That would bring the game within 3. And a great chance to do it here in the attacking zone.
Yeah, big possession here. Like you said, the end of a quarter and the beginning of the next. So we're getting close to that 4-4 that you like to talk about. You know, if St. Mark's can convert on this possession, it'll be a big opportunity for them to you know, start taking some momentum in this game.
Yeah, very back and forth second quarter to start. Just one goal for the Arrows, and it happened pretty recently by Frizzoli. Hammond Frederick continues to be a matchup at the face-off dot. Both goalies have made incredible saves to keep the total on this game lower than it really should be. But right now, a opportune chance for St. Mark's to capitalize here in the attacking zone. Looks like Jack Taylor, the junior, he'll start with it. No, instead it'll be the sophomore, Tyler Smith.
Now, interesting, coming out of the timeout, it looks like they've got Thurman locking off on Harwich.
Ball down there, and that's going to fall out. Sam Weston with it. And he's really a kickstart guy here for the Arrows. Such good speed in the midfield. Really talented passer as Frizzoli works the Arrows into their offensive set. Thurman pulls it back, and some substitutions on for the Arrows. Quillard comes on. Sends it high to Frizzoli behind the net at X. Armstrong to Frizzoli, 2 quick flip passes. Thurman right side to Stenberg. Back to Armstrong, and he cradles it a little bit behind the net with under 6 minutes to go in the half. Off the screen from Quillard. Ball down here, and Thurman flying after it. And that goes out in a turnover here. So, Will Parks once again working St. Mark's together with 5.5 left in the half. Arrows going with some man-to-man here. Taken away is the elite stick work of Devin McGuire.
Yeah, nice shot by McGuire there.
Ball down again, and this wind really starting to affect ball control. O'Brien with the sky-high pass to Smith. Nolan Hackett trying to work through a double team, but he dishes it off to the far side. Harwich working behind the net. Harwich curls, and what a goal there from Luke Harwich, the junior captain for St. Mark's.
Yeah,
His second of the game.
He, Farley knows he's strong left, so Howard changes it up, goes right, goes behind the net, and then comes out and back flips it into the goal over Chandler's shoulder. Great goal, 6-3.
The one thing as you're watching Harwich, does a nice job with spatial awareness, able to utilize his elbows and shoulders not as weapons, but as key helpers to his entire offensive flow.
Ball protection is what it's all about,
Exactly.
and he's really good about it.
Makes him a ready scorer and a ready distributor. I could very well see him in the news late May as a All-ISL or ISL honorable mention. St. Mark's with 3 All-ISL players last season, all graduated, so really a young nucleus here as we see just 4 seniors from this Lions squad. As St. Sebastians will take the timeout with under 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, Coach White seeing the sloppy play there on both defensive and offensive zones, takes the timeout to settle the team down and say, come on, guys, let's start playing Arrows Lacrosse here.
And as I see the expression on his face, I think he's saying just about that.
Pretty obvious there that, they're just balls on the ground, 4 or 5 guys missing it on both teams, honestly. It's not just the Arrows. It was very sloppy play there for the last minute or so. The Lions were able to take care of it and get the goal from Harwich. So Coach White just wants to settle things down and say, let's go.
And from the St. Mark's side, it's just about retain momentum, keep playing at this high pace. The fast breaks, it's honestly favored the Lions so far today. St. Seb's, they're working themselves into their sets and waiting for the right shot, but St. Mark's in the second quarter, they've been able to speed up the process of the Arrows.
Still a lot of time on the shot clock here for the Arrows, so they'll get set up. Coach Shea with some final advice to his offensive group.
So looking for a ball here. And
just going to say I had a disappearing ball trick. I don't know what happened to it, but whoever it is had it when they called timeout, took it to the bench, and here we go.
Abdella will start things off. Ethan Abdella. Haggerty sends it to Stenberg, sends it over to Frizzoli. Abdella back with it now. Fakes there and gets back into his triple threat position. Frizzoli works right. Nope, fakes. And he is just so skilled at that X spot. Stenberg fires and scores! John Stenberg with an absolute rip from 25 yards away.
Yeah, great job by Stenberg. He just caught it and says, listen, I'm just going to shoot this bad boy. What do we got here?
The Dartmouth.
Okay, so if I heard that right, Stenberg was missing his mouth guard. So they took the goal off the board. So it's still 6-3.
And as someone who played lacrosse there without a mouth guard, I gotta feel Stenberg's pain. But You know, it's all about safety.
There's no question it's a rule, and we've seen plenty of face-off guys thrown out of the face-off dot because of missing a mouth guard. So I can say I've never seen a goal taken off the board.
Collision there as it favors the Lions of St. Mark's as we see their bench here to our right fired up right now.
And turnover city, though. Here we go.
Armstrong to Frizzoli, and it is showtime now. The passes in quick succession, and Teddy Frizzoli, his second goal of the game.
Yeah, I mean, there was just the pressure of the Arrows attack. The ride was really strong. Bad pass by the defenseman, trying to get it to his goalie. Threw it over his head, and it was, like you said, showtime after that because it was an easy goal for Frizzoli.
You know, it's still early season, but this is a pretty unbelievable stat. This is the third game already this season where the Arrows have had an open net goal. Coach White and co. has drawn up an incredible ride play for this Arrows squad.
They really are, you know, especially when they go 10-man. I remember the first half of the Governors game. Governors had, you know, with getting fits with that. They just couldn't do anything. They finally figured it out some in the second half, but
McGuire with it now, able to take it away from McNair.
There again, you know, it's not just the attack that rides, it's through the midfield as well. And the takeaway right there at the midfield by the Poles. And Arrows right back on the attack.
Curry able to find Armstrong false side. He gets it back and he scores. Ty Curry, give him the hat trick.
Yeah, great give and go there with Armstrong. Curry made the pass and went straight to the net. Armstrong found him, and it was an easy goal right off the hip, far side hip. 8-3 now as this game is starting to get out of hand for the Lions. Really need to settle things down and score the next one or two before halftime.
The Arrows dominant coming out of Coach White's timeout, have done a good job putting pressure on this St. Mark's team. We said about winning back the momentum, winning back the tempo. The Arrows have done that and more as Hom just rolls over on Frederick and wins the faceoff. McGuire takes it middle. He scores! Devin McGuire able to sneak it past as he gets his first goal of the season.
Yeah, great job by McGuire. Faked a shot, kind of got the defenseman to freeze a little bit, and ran right by him and put it in. Gotta love a pole goal.
Yeah, just a beautiful job there. Works in the middle, confronted there by the double team, able to split it there with a dodge combination and extend the lead to 6.
Yeah, timeout by the Lions. You know, you said it just a minute or so ago. After that timeout by Coach White, that really changed everything. Got back down to business. Said, hey, come on now, let's get this done.
Seems like we have some momentum change all around this campus as Arrows baseball has just taken the lead 5-4 against St. Mark's. That's happening on the field right across from us.
Yeah, a game that was supposed to be at St. Mark's, but apparently field conditions out there weren't great. Got the full turf here at St. Sebastians, baseball, lacrosse, football, soccer, you name it, we got turf for it.
So 2:18 left to go. What is this message right now in this St. Mark's huddle?
St. Mark's is, guys, come on, you know you can play with these guys because they've shown they can. You know, they just got to stop making mistakes. You know, turnovers and get ground balls. Ground balls has been huge. That's been the biggest thing in the last couple of minutes is that Sebs has gotten all the ground balls.
Yeah, I agree with you, and there's really a difference between playing at a fast tempo and playing hectic, reckless lacrosse. It was working in their favor there for a little bit with the amount of turnovers they were forcing against the Arrows. But it seems like they might want to slow it down here a little bit and work it around to try to find a great chance. They are very talented all around the roster. As we saw in the first quarter and many of the second, really neck and neck with the Arrows. It's just about trying to pull back here in the last 2:18.
You know, I'd say based on what we've seen, their best weapon offensively is Harwich. There's no question about that. Got to get him the rock more, maybe set up some screens for him. Try to somehow peel Farley off of him.
Yeah, there's been a number of guys today for the Lions with really A-grade chances or setting up A-grade chances for others. You know, Tyler Smith, Anthony Brunetti, just to name a few. When they're working together, they can be a very dangerous unit. And comes into Jack Taylor. Dumps it out to Tyler Smith. Pressed up top by Weston, and Weston really coming away from that crease.
Yeah, you can see
Gotta
the
be 30
Arrows
yards out.
game plan up top is to play him tight, not give him much room. Make him, you know, use the shot clock. Right now, that's in the Arrows' favor. You want them, you know, if they're gonna score, you want them to take as long. Oh, it ran out of bounds.
So Anthony Brunetti just loses sense of the sideline there, and that will be a turnover. So the Arrows will have another chance to add to their lead. Turnover there once again, and a flip pass. Alexis Santini, the captain, he's Johnny on the spot for St. Mark's as he fights through an Arrows double team there. Still the double team as McKeague able to force the turnover. And Teddy McKeague, the Holy Cross commit.
Yeah, nice job cornering him on the sideline. Ran out of room, gave him a little push, and out he went.
You know, the numbers won't really say it, but McKeague is really a lockdown specialist as a top corner snipe from Curry. That's number 4 for him today and number 18 on the season.
Yeah, great job by the Arrows. Just, you know, not waiting. Got right into the offense, moved the ball around, left Curry wide open. Easy step down there. There's no way you're going to stop that. Off stick high. Curry rips it home. 10-3 now, Arrows. Weston coming out for the face-off again.
Still Frederick for St. Mark's, and Finn Frederick, the junior, he's had a very nice day at midfield. Takes it away from the sophomore Weston. And Frederick works middle. Attempts the shot there and a really nice chance, but just wide. Lions able to retain. Under 45 seconds, so the shot clock turned off. Brings it to Harwich, and I assume we'll see one of the two, either Harwich or Brunetti, trying to work to him for the last shot. Harwich working on Farley. Farley cheered on by his fellow Arrows to our left side. Under 20 seconds to play in this first half. Pulls it back out is Tyler Smith. Smith and Weston able to take it away.
Yeah, great job by Weston, getting between his hands and stripping the stick.
That will do it. Our first half of action here from 1191. Arrows 10, St. Mark's 3, ISL Lacrosse. We'll be back after this short break. Welcome back to St. Sebastians School in Enon, Massachusetts for the second half of our featured game today. The 3-1 Arrows taking on the 1-3 Lions. Sebs with a 10-3 lead early in this game, but we've had, for most of this, some real back and forth, high-level lacrosse.
Yeah, I mean, especially through the first quarter and beginning of the second, they really was a great matchup. And then there was probably 4 minutes there in that second quarter that St. Mark's really struggled, and the Arrows just put the hammer down.
As we watch here, St. Mark's, they came into the second quarter stronger than the Arrows. They'll have to do that again if they want to pull further back into this game. We've seen a combination of Hom and Weston today for the Arrows from faceoff. It will be Hom again and Frederick for the Lions. A toss up here, and it looks like Farley is going to come away with it. He does. So Ryan Farley sends it off to the ever-quick Keaveney, and Brendan Keaveney, the Arrows hockey captain, ended up being the ISL Flood Shield player, hardest worker.
And
Curry again.
Curry there with a great shot, low to high, just ripped it.
I mean, he's been doing it all day. I am running out of adjectives to describe Tyler Curry's skill.
Well, all you have to do is say he's going to Notre Dame for lacrosse, and that says a lot right there. Not a whole lot of attackmen from the New England area ever get recruited to Notre Dame. And here we go. Here's, Ty Curry getting it done.
And depending on the results of the Nobles game, as David Hom exerting some force there, depending on the results of the Nobles game today, Ty Curry will be in firm position of the ISL's leading scorer.
Yeah, Noble's playing Middlesex today, so they're going to have their hands full.
Great chance there from Fazzoli, knocked away, but an athletic move to put himself in scoring position. We'll get a flag here and momentarily the call from our officials. So David Hom will go for a minute on the slash.
I think he's got that wrong.
Yeah.
It was on St. Mark's, not on Black.
Either that or we should not have possession right now.
And you shouldn't have been playing through with possession with the flag down, so.
Yeah, they're going to sort things out. So, some miscommunication, but as it stands right now, the Arrows, looks like it's not going to stand. So, Jamie Grubb, the captain for the Lions, he'll go for a minute on the slash. Arrows, a man up. As we resume play here, we'll reset the penalty to 60. A nice flip pass there as the 6'7" Crosby Thurman takes it up top. Couple of passes finds Teddy Fazzoli. Ever quick with it, and Haggerty back to Stenberg. Fazzoli works right to middle. 30 seconds left on the Grubb penalty. Stenberg loops around there and sends it up top. Now finds Armstrong near side, back to Stenberg. Fazzoli cradles with it, 10 seconds left, Stenberg a rip. Offline right side, but the Arrows retain with just 9 seconds left on the man advantage. Arrows have to move quick here. Frizzoli lost control. Picked up by Curry. And some miscommunication there on the flip pass, trying for Thurman. Haggerty on it. And that flip pass, the Arrows, they just got to reset.
10 seconds on the shot clock, so they got to get something here.
Finds Armstrong, and he finds the back of the net. Paul Armstrong, the no-looker.
Yeah, great pass from Frizzoli, kind of stopped him because he knew if he let him, he would have gotten hammered by the D coming over. Armstrong caught it, spun, and shot it top corner. Great catch and shoot by Armstrong.
Arrows able to work well there under duress. First trying to salvage the man advantage and then had to beat the shot clock. So they extend their lead to 9 at a 12-3 advantage with 9:38 left to go in this third quarter. Ground ball still loose. McClemens comes out. As the Arrows setting themselves up. Armstrong works left, sends it to Haggerty, finds Frizzoli, low shot and in. Teddy Frizzoli goes 5-hole for his third goal of the game. Hats off, folks. Frizzoli's got a hat trick.
Yeah, great pass in there. Frizzoli caught it. Was in a little bit of a traffic. Shot the worm burner along the ground, and it found its way to the back of the net.
Hom and Frederick once again. Hom winning the first two coming out of the half, but as we've seen all day, this is really a 50-50.
Hom jumps the gun, so it'll be St. Mark's ball.
Incredible work today from the junior Frederick. Wins another one there. Parks trying to work through Porter. Will Parks, the 2027 sophomore from Sudbury. Sends it way far side for Ethan Ning. Harwich now covered tightly by McGuire. Harwich. McGuire takes it off.
Yeah, switch up there to McGuire covering Harwich now, and did a nice job going over the top. Type of move where you say, no, don't do it, and then when he does it, it's like, great job.
Armstrong works middle. Trying there, and right on goal line extended was Weston, but
A lot of traffic in there for a pole to catch that.
yeah, the two not able to connect.
That'll go out of bounds. That'll be Arrow's ball.
Turnover there once again. Long winding pass from McClemens finds Keaveney on the far side. Thurman now working through O'Brien. Frizzoliadak spin move. And he finds Curry, and he scores. Frizzoli to Curry, the junior connection, and man, this is really going to be something for the next year and a half.
Yeah, great job there by Frizzoli. Broke two guys' ankles there, leaving Curry wide open in front of the net. All he had to do was just quick stick it into the side of the net. Really exciting to watch those two play together.
Yeah, you just see Frizzoli with the speed and the quickness, working at X, able to be both a scorer and a distributor, a true triple threat player. And then Ty Curry, just the complete and total pinpoint accuracy with the shot. It meshes together for a great attack combo. Loose ball. Illegal procedure. St. Mark's will take over off the turnover.
Yeah, Frizzoli's complaining because he thought there was possession, but no possession had been called, so that means he had to stay in the restraining box.
Couple of flip passes. Finds Frizzoli. Outstanding save from Carson Brown.
Yeah, come right off the top of the head. Great job just keeping position, keeping yourself centered in the goal.
Finds Quillard and offline there on the point blank shot.
Yeah, tough there. He's kind of had it on the back end there, kind of Canadian shot there. Couldn't get any accuracy on it. Good backup by the Arrows, though.
Frizzoli works middle. High pass there, trying for Quincy Quillard. Able to flip it out. Trying to find Thurman, but instead, the long pole stick of Will Veal. Turnover now, and John Stenberg with a full head of steam and some green grass in front of him. Stenberg charges in, trying to find Armstrong. The two can't connect. Tyler Smith chips it out, comes back to the Arrows. Arrows slowing it down here, trying to, calm things down and set up their offense. Still 60 seconds left on the shot clock, 45 now. Trying for Curry there, right in front of the net, but not able to find him. Some pushing and shoving here at midfield. Howard there, successful spin move. Man, that was beautiful to watch.
Yeah, and the St. Mark bench is loving it.
Especially in the game when Arrows with the lead like this. Lions force a turnover. O'Brien works within his own end. Long pass there, connects with Nolan Hackett. So a timeout for St. Mark's. And trying to draw something up here in this timeout to capitalize on the offensive zone possession. So the Arrows with a 14-3 lead with 4:07 left in the third quarter. But yet again is, really an influx of turnovers from both sides.
Yeah, I mean, it was, especially in that last 3 or 4 minutes, it was pretty crazy there. A lot of balls on the ground and a lot of missed ground balls. But, at this point, the Arrows are just trying to, keep playing hard. St. Mark's is just trying to have some fun. I mean, you could hear the bench really getting into it when you see some good plays. They know they're not going to win this game, but learn, get better, and have fun. And they're certainly still having fun.
I mean, there is just a ton of games still to be played. I think it's 16 games for each team, and we're on night number 4 for both squads. I mean, this Arrows team just a complete buzzsaw. Final word here from the coaches as we resume play.
Ball will be put into play. Goal line extended left from Chandler.
Yeah, Anthony Brunetti, he'll take it. And he's been an impact player today for the Lions.
Broken up by the Arrows. Good defensive play.
Yeah, tried connecting with the midfielder Hackett, but just unable to do so. Arrows get sticks in the lane. Keaveney takes it up top, sends it over to Curry, and Keaveney will retreat over the line. Illegal procedure and a turnover here.
Yeah, I think Arrows are offsides, or I was counting that up myself when the whistle blew. Good ride.
Yeah, O'Brien in some trouble, just sends it long. Chandler McClements able to corral that one and sends a beautiful rainbow to Thurmond. And for Crosby Thurmond, the dual sport Holy Cross commit, you don't see that these days, football and lacrosse. You'll be seeing him make catches like that with his lacrosse stick and with his receiver hands.
Yeah, I mean, he was fun to watch in the fall. As a wideout, really did some damage, and it wasn't just the catch, it was after the catch. The yards he would pick up, the runs that we'd have after the catch were so amazing to watch.
Then again, his absolute Moss touchdown on homecoming.
Yeah, that too.
Ball there, set in a space, and it will be counted as a pass. Seems some debate about that.
I don't know about that. That was all pass to me. If it's a close game, I'll maybe argue for it, but at 14-3, that's clearly a pass.
O'Brien chucks it to Taylor. Jack Taylor working up the sideline. Nice hit there from Boyle. Nice hit there from Frizzoli.
Yeah, Frizzoli's going to get maybe a hit to the head. Yeah, they go
1 minute for Frizzoli, like you said, for the hit to the head. Tyler Smith gets it up top. Sends it low to Santini. Back up top is Smith. Some short, quick passes here for the Lions. Harwich far side, he's with it now, covered tightly by McGuire. And you know, McGuire, when he locks onto a matchup, he can be devastating for a team's attack. Smith here with 5 seconds left, a snipe and a goal as Blake Grislisk, he gets one, and St. Mark's able to cut the lead on the man advantage.
Yeah, nice job. Nice pass, finding him down low. Really didn't have anything to do with it except just backhand it low. That's the second goal we've seen like that today from St. Mark's. Good job, good awareness to get the pass down low.
Frederick and Hom once again.
See the strength of Hom on that as he just kind of pulled Frederick's back.
As he gets shoved down.
Yeah, play on, goes on. Trying to get Burke the opportunity.
Frizzoli to Hom. Hom fakes the shot, and he scores! David Hom on an unbelievable move and finish. And he finds Twine here in the late stage of the third quarter.
Yeah, nice job by Hom. Staying down low, just forced his way into the front of the goal and kept it low. Looked like a backhand shot as well. He's just so strong and powerful. He's hard to move.
With 1 minute left on the clock, possession, St. Mark's taken away immediately. Sent back to McClements.
Yeah, nice job by Burke on that face-off. Just, you know, getting a stick to stick, knocking it out.
Arrows with some long drawn passes here.
Good defense there by the Lions, tripping Frizzoli.
Yeah, Howard able to just completely take it away. Sending it to Pollock. Howard, that pass intercepted by his number mate, Ryan Farley. And with 4.3 left on the clock, Arrows trying to stretch one out. Three seconds and right into the basket of Chandler McClements. And that will do it. 15-4 after 3. "12 minutes left, separating the Arrows from extending their win streak to 4.
Still a 5-4 lead in the 5th inning for the Arrows over St. Mark's on the baseball field. Coach White wanting them to finish strong in the huddle.
Pretty even third quarter. Arrows with a 2-1 favor there in that quarter, but some very nice back and forth.
Some changes being made in goal for the Arrows.
Sean Collins coming in, and in his last appearance against St. George's, scoreless, which is exactly doctor's orders when it comes to taking care of the net front.
And another one at the face-off dot.
It's going to be Rhett Shevlin. The call-up today in place of Reese Amorosino. So he'll face the white-hot Finn Frederick. Frederick wins this one, and with a burst of speed up the middle.
Yeah, good job, though, by Shevlin. There's a push and getting away with it. Nice job by Shevlin. He lost the face-off, but he did not give up and stripped Fredericks of the ball. Some new faces on defense for the Arrows as well.
Bunch of substitutions, but for now, Luke Harwich works it through. Harwich and Taylor. Harwich off the spin move. Tightly covered by Quillard. Carroll there with an outstanding defensive play. Connor Carroll forces the awry shot.
That was high. Yeah, here it comes. Probably going to be a cross check on the Arrows, I would guess.
But for now, up top, Tyler Smith. Cradling with it, just trying to wait and be patient and try to look for an A-grade shot. As it
still didn't have possession. It's not like hockey where you just touch it. You got to have possession.
So I'll get a call from our officials momentarily. The Arrows, they'll be a man down.
Calling the slash on that. Looked like a cross check to me, but it's still 1 minute. Either way.
Comes out far side to Santini. Long pass there, able to connect with Harwitz.
Surprised he didn't unload that. Now he will. Just misses.
Trying for that top left corner, but St. Mark's will retain. Harwitz gets it back, and Luke Harwitz really been outstanding today. 2 goals already.
That'll go out of bounds.
Yeah, just sails too far.
Interesting switch up in play. They went to a lockdown on number 2, I think it was.
Tyler Smith.
And it really threw off the Lions' defense, offense, I should say, causing the turnover.
Yeah, he was trying for the captain, Santini, but again, just over his head. So with under 5 seconds left, Arrows kill that one off. And we are all even with under 9.5 to play in this game. Cleary works middle. Finds Hetridge far side. Works it back, Quillard up top. Some great ball movement from the Arrows. A shot and a save. And a nice grab there. Pollock on it once again. Brunetti working along the sideline. Pushed by Katrikis.
Arrows with a little mix-up with the substitution, caught with too many on the field. 30-second technical.
So Carroll will serve for the Arrows. Parks works at X and he gets it right back. Trying to find the open man. Turnover there, but another flag flies. So the Arrows are going to be 2 men down.
Probably going to be interference, I would say. Yeah, when he went out for the lockup, he kind of ran into him, knocked him down. Throughout the whole run to the crease, he was locked on him, so.
Taylor works on McGuire and then pulls back. Taylor gets it. Jack Taylor, a shot and a save there from Collins. Little behind McGuire, but Devin McGuire able to retain. You know, he's so talented, even with the long pole, able to be a high skill player. Abdella works through the double team.
All even now for the Arrows.
Quillard, he sends it crossfield to Hettridge. Now Haggerty with it. Sends it down to X and right back into the stick of Quincy Quillard.
Deflected, that was deflected by, wow.
I guess not.
Okay. Again, at 15-4, give it a white. No arguments there.
Yeah, not the game to get the officials on your bad side. Long drawn pass, and this is the problem really with just sending it downfield. Sometimes it works to perfection, as we saw on one of our earlier goals, but
Timeout St. Mark's.
as we get a chance with 6:43 left in the quarter and left in the game to chat things over.
You know, even though you're down by 11, you St. Mark's, you still want to work on things. You still want to get better. You know, taking the time out to talk to his team and say, hey, let's still work on this. You know, we're got 6:43 left in the quarter. Let's do this, this, and this, and finish out strong.
And they've done a lot of nice things in this game and in this quarter particularly. But we've just seen the depth of this Arrows team really shine. Sean Collins, he comes in cold and makes 4 big saves. 4 saves against the St. Mark's starting attack line.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you see that. You see, you know, it makes you feel good if you're Coach White to know that you can, you know, if anything was to happen to McClemens, that, you know, you've got somebody that can come in and make the saves that you need to make.
As we got some confusion over substitutions here. Both teams here going with some turnover. Hackett recovers and sends it out far, and that ball gets through and gets out of bounds, so a turnover. Porter will take over for the Arrows. Danny Porter works along the right sideline. He cuts middle now. Giraldi works at X. But Ben Howard there, one of the Lions captains, is right on him. Quillard now with it. And just 6 minutes remaining. The Arrows, they'll go for a substitution. Hetridge comes on. Giraldi back to Stephen Hetridge. Hetridge sends it over to Will Haggerty. Hetridge now with 14 on the clock. And some great defensive pressure from O'Brien to deny the move. Works it in a great save. Another big stop from Noah Pollock.
Good job by the Arrows, working the shot clock, using up all the time that they can, and then getting a shot on net.
Substitutions here for both teams. St. Mark's do a nice job working quickly into their offensive sets. You know, especially late game like this, you get that moment where it's, you know, a plethora of substitutions. You tend to slow down. Not these guys, not this Lions team. Arrows with some tight man press. Trying to make life hard on the St. Mark's attack as Brunetti trying to lower the shoulder. Turnover here, and the Arrows will start things off again. Abdella now with cradling with it. Down to Giraldi at X. Quillard now as Manny Pereira, the midfielder. Manny Pereira, also the Arrows starting linebacker in the fall. He made a bunch of huge tackles. You want to look at that Govs game, especially played at Boston College. The senior, he just another depth piece on this Arrows roster.
Usually D midi on this Arrows team, getting some runs at O midi.
Yeah, and you know, with the football background at linebacker, just an overall a tough guy to play against. Porter now works right. Porter blanketed by O'Brien, and St. Mark's able to cause the turnover with under 3 minutes to play.
Again, though, good job by the Arrows using most of the shot clock. Didn't get the shot off, but used, got the time run off the clock. Good defense here by the Arrows.
A long stick, Howard works through it, and Sean Collins jumps up there, intercepts that pass. Flips it over to Porter. Danny Porter, a fan favorite here among the students of St. Sebastians. Flips it in a great save from Pollock. Giraldi able to dig it out. He works middle.
First 60 for the Arrows on that. Getting the ground ball off the shot.
High pass trying for Quillard. Quillard and Will Veal fighting over the ground ball.
Yeah, good job by Quillard using his body, shielding the player off so he could settle down and scoop it up.
Quincy Quillard, and he's had a phenomenal start to his sophomore season. 3 goals already, 6 points on the year.
Yeah, so, we talk about depth.
Pollock with the save again.
Coming up with the sophomore class is another one.
That is 6 saves now for Noah Polak in this game. Finn Howard swerves around, and St. Mark's looking for potentially one more goal to try to.
Loose hold there. It's going to be St. Mark's ball.
St. Mark's looking for one more goal just to head on the bus, feeling good. They've done a lot of great stuff here in this game. Hackett dips it over to Frederick. Under a minute to play here from 1191 Greendale Ave. Chips it out to Hackett. Hackett avoids the check from Quillett. Quillett all over him now. Trying for Frederick. Abdallah bowls him over. Oh, they're going to call him for the push.
Yeah, from behind, you can't do that. If he was from the front, they still probably would have called it.
30 seconds left to play. Hackett up top. Sends it far side to Santini. All over Santini is Liam Sullivan. A nice move there. Works it front, a ground ball picked up by Quillard. 6 seconds left, 5 now. The Arrows are going to take this one 15-4, and they head on a 4-game winning streak into Saturday afternoon's pivotal matchup against the Tigers of Thayer Academy. Outstanding play from an outstanding, star-studded Arrows team. 15-4 our final from 1191, and we'll see you Saturday against Thayer.